Good morning, guys. Welcome to Event Planning and Coordination. Morning. Today we're going to be discussing the 5 phases of the event management process. Have you guys ever considered the steps, or did you think it was one thing? One thing. Okay. Well, we're going to do the 5 steps. It's really interesting because a lot of people do a party or they do a event. Let's say it's their 7-year-old's birthday, and they do the balloons and they do the cake and they do, I don't know, order a clown, and then after the party they go, we should go into events. And they could possibly go into events, they might be lucky, but events there's a very corporate side to events as well. And this will be shown in the steps that we go through, because we actually need to look at why an event is happening. We need to have goals and objectives so that we can make sure that that's being met. And we're often working for clients. So the people doing the parties that have put 2 or 3 things together, good show, and I'm sure that if they had to learn the hard way, they'll go through the processes and learn them by themselves with experience. But you guys are lucky because you get to learn the theoretical side, and then we move into the practical side in your 2nd semester. Okay, so let us start with what is an event. An event is, we've done this now.
Okay, event is a non-routine.
Okay, first point, an event is a non-routine, something that doesn't happen every day, so it's special.
The social gathering of people.
It's a gathering of people, so it's a non-routine. Number 2, gathering of people with
Specific place and time.
specific place and time. Very good.
And its purpose is to celebrate, enlighten,
Okay,
challenge.
that's good.
Gathering of people.
So we've got that, but you guys left out one important thing, and that's what we've just discussed, is you need a goal or an objective. So you can't just have a party because you want to hang out with your mates, but most of the time when we're in the event industry, we're dealing with corporates who have a very specific goal in mind. So that's also part of it, a non-routine gathering of people for a specific goal or purpose at a specific place or time to celebrate or learn or whatever the case may be. Got that? Good. So let's go into our first phase. So now we're event coordinators, we're very smart, we've done all our exams, and we're about to start with an event, and a client has phoned us. So what is the first thing we need to do? We need to communicate with the client. So we set up a meeting, we have to go there, and we have to sit down, introduce ourselves, chat a bit, and we have to find out what these people have done in the past. We can't just start going at full speed because we've got all these lovely ideas. We have to consider the client, we have to consider things they've done before, themes they've done before, what their objectives are. This is very important. The objectives is very, very important. So we have to consider those things, and we have to chat to the client to get that information from them. So the first thing we do is we communicate with the client or the organization. Obviously, if you're doing a wedding, you're not going to be doing like a meeting with an organization. You still need to meet with the bride, because she wants to have specific colors, have certain experiences that the people are going to have. So we still need to meet with them. So you're touching base with the person that you're representing at the event. Okay, we have to define the purpose and the goal of the event. So here it comes up again. So if your goal is to get married, then the objective is to, in front of witnesses, declare your vows and, is that yours? Is to declare your vows and for other people to witness your day. So that would be your wedding, that's the goal or the objective. Obviously there's smaller, finer print, extra things we bring in. We want certain food, we want certain colors, we want all those things, but the main objective is for them to get married and for people to witness the event. Okay, Elizabeth Taylor had how many witnessings? She had about 8. So hers was not a non-routine gathering of people, it was a routine gathering of people. She had 8 weddings. Okay, so now we've defined the purpose or the goal of the event. the next thing we have to do is we have to research the proposed event concept before designing and the planning can start. So what they mean by that is we need to go and have a look at how can we make this theme different? What themes are available? I don't know, come on, give me some ideas. What kind of budget is available? What else are we researching?
What other things they've used before so that you can use the same thing.
Okay, so you want to come up with some fresh ideas, so we go and research that. Another very important part of this event management process is this is when we do our SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis? You got it. Okay, so we're looking at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Well done. Okay, so we're going to look at those aspects of the function. So when we're looking at the strengths, we're looking at, let's say we're doing a concert. So we're looking at the person's popular. That would be a strength. So the ticket sales will be easy because they'll want to buy the tickets. We wouldn't have to drive it too much. Another strength could be that we have a radio station involved. Very good. Another strength could be that this person has done a concert before and people have asked for another concert. Those are strengths. We're going to weaknesses, and then what could be a weakness? It's an outside concert and there's a possibility of rain. What other weaknesses for the concert?
The cost of giving that ticketing agency to give the event.
Okay, that's a cost, but we can change that into a thing. Okay, we can put that down as a weakness. Opportunities. We can get a local band involved and give them extra coverage. What other opportunities are there? Our brand name as an events company will grow because our names will be on the tickets. Sponsors that are involved, they will get extra branding and coverage at the event. Nice opportunity. Okay, threats. The band could cancel, and then we've sold all these tickets and the band isn't coming. What other threats are there? One more. The singer loses their voice or something like that. Okay, that would be hectic. Okay, so now when we're doing a SWOT analysis, we've actually done this before, but we're going to do it again. I'm going to go to that board. Okay, so when you're doing your SWOT analysis, we've looked at our strengths, we've looked at our weaknesses, we've looked at our opportunities, and we've looked at our threats. The important thing when you're doing a proper SWOT analysis is not just to make those columns and write those things down. We have to take the weaknesses and we have to change them into strengths. And we have to take the threats and we have to change them into opportunities. Otherwise, so in other words, when we say it backwards, we have to do a TOES analysis. Threats into opportunities, weaknesses into strengths. Because then we are managing the little things that could possibly go wrong, and then we're a step ahead of the process. Okay, when we're doing the SWOT analysis, sometimes we're going to look at it and it's just not going to be feasible. That's the word. It's not going to be feasible. There's 10 threats, serious ones. There's 10 weaknesses. There's one strength and one opportunity. That event won't be done. It would be unwise to pursue it. Okay, so this has got a specific purpose. We look at what we've got, we look at what could happen, and then we decide whether or not this is going to happen and whether it's feasible and it's going to meet the objectives of the client. Another important thing that plays a part of being feasible is the budget. Money talks, and a lot of people in the event industry have lost money with concerts and with big events because they haven't followed through, they haven't done their SWOT analysis, they haven't done their marketing, they've just thought they had a brilliant idea and the public is going to love it, and they lived in their own world and they didn't really go and have a look at what really could happen in a situation like that. Last night I actually got a call from a promoter in Cape Town and they said, Percy Sledge, do you know who Percy Sledge is? He's the king of soul, Mr. Percy Sledge. He's about 70 now, amazing soul singer. And he's one of my favorites, and they know that I love Percy Sledge. So they phoned me and they said, Percy Sledge is coming to Cape Town in 2 weeks' time to do a concert. If you can pull it off, you can have him for Johannesburg. So I said, okay, well, let's have a look at the numbers. So we've got 2 weeks. What would you say that is here?
That's a huge threat.
It's a huge threat and a weakness because we don't have a lot of time for marketing. Okay, I worked out the costing and it was about 450,000. Weakness? Threat. Because when are we going to collect the money unless somebody pays for it? It's a strength that he is Mr. Percy Sledge, and there's a very good chance that we would be able to sell the tickets. But our weaknesses and our threats really overshadow the strengths that we have at this time. If it was 2 months ago, I wouldn't have hesitated. But doing my SWOT analysis and looking at whether or not I can do the performer justice, whether I can do my company justice, and whether I can do the public justice that are buying the tickets, it didn't look good. Okay, so we're going to step away from that and say, if only we had more time, thank you very much, please consider us next time. Walk away. There's a lot of promoters that have lost money because they haven't walked away, because they've just continued and continued, and they haven't really thought about how it's going to work. So the research phase, as you can see, is very important, because now we can determine whether or not this project is going to work, this event is going to work. The client has enough money to pull off what he wants to meet the objectives. So that's the research phase. Is there anything you guys would like to add? Great, that was research.